what it be? What it do? It is I, the Lord Octopussy, and so the developer update for June 2022 came out like, what was it? 4 days? No, 2 days ago. So I can't remember. It was on. I think it was on Wednesday. It came out. So about 2 days ago, something like that. So I've gone through it. I've read it all. Had time to sort of collect my thoughts on it, and I think it's a really based like update. Don't get me wrong. It's like super based, but like, what if it was Omega based? So I'm going through what I think can be tweaked and adjusted in terms of what they've decided to do, um, to maybe make it a more Omega based update. So we're gonna actually just scroll all the way down to killer gameplay updates. So over here, finally we've tweaked Bloodlust. In most cases, Bloodlust does not activate. But there are some rare cases where Bloodlust, nice typo, can be necessary. However, a long time to build up Bloodlust tiers 2 and 3 can often leave the killers in a bad spot. Eventually getting however, the long build up to Bloodlust tiers 2 and 3 leaves the killer in a bad spot, even if they eventually get the hit, though it may not feel like it to them. So to discourage killers from playing ineffectively, we are simply removing Bloodlust tiers 2 and 3. Please note, as we continue to further tweak and rework maps, the necessity of Bloodlust tiers 2 and 3 will diminish even more over time. So as it says, Bloodlust tier 1 is necessary. But everything else, like tier 2 and 3, is just unnecessary, unfun, and will eventually lead to the killer just losing if they continually rely on it. So by simply removing tiers 2 and 3, it makes Bloodlust a more fair mechanic. Now we go on to perks. So first off, Ruin. To bring Ruin in line with other perks, we're reducing aggression speed to 100% from 200%. Additionally, aggression speed from Hex Ruin, no comma there, nice, will gradually diminish by 25% every time a survivor dies, starting with the third, second, first survivor killed. This will reduce its power without destroying its primary appeal. So essentially, like, you kill a survivor, and let's say you're on tier 3 Ruin, it goes down to 75%, but if you're only on tier 2 Ruin, then it will still be 75%, the same like third, 50%. So the numbers really won't change too much. It only really changes on tier 3, but it generally keeps the same consistency as the effect diminishes. What they've done is they've instead made it so Hex Ruin gets deactivated when a survivor is killed, which is kind of stupid for a Hex perk. Like, the whole point is that it can be deactivated if a survivor goes out of their way to cleanse it. So yeah, that's really about it. Tinkerer. Tinkerer is a popular choice for information. Provides being able to prevent a generator being empowered is a game changer, particularly in kills with high mobility. It can, however, become a little oppressive when paired with current aggression perks. Therefore, Tinkerer can activate once per generator, but with the base charges increased to 90, kills will have extra time to approach. Plus, in order to offset this change, we're increasing the duration of the undetectable status effect from 25 seconds from 16. So, like I said, because it can only be activated once per gen, giving kills a little bit more leeway time with the 90 charges, and also 25 seconds of undetectable is just really nice. Noed. This perk makes for a very effective comeback tool, though it falls out of favor in high skill games. Despite this, many players find Noed an annoying occurrence. So in order to keep Noed as a strong choice for endgame builds without the annoyance, we're reworking it entirely. I'm not even entirely sure they spelled entirely wrong, or in this case, I spelled entirely wrong. After the exegates are powered, if at least one dull totem remains, then two dull totems will be lit, as Noed will activate. If there is only one dull totem, Noed will reconstruct a random totem and apply itself to that. While Noed is active, the exegates are blocked, and the endgame timer collapse will be paused until one of the two associated totems are destroyed, while still granting the movement speed bonus. So, rather than giving you like an insta down, it basically gives you Hex Blood Warden. It's a stronger version of Blood Warden. I mean, it stops the endgame timer from going down. So in reality, you can't camp the two totems to kill them all to endgame collapse, and because it's two totems, you can't camp one totem and hold the game hostage. And it is generally a more interactive perk to go against than current Noed. Okay, so after this, we go to DS. So with DS, For the most part, I find unhooked to be healthy for the game and easily avoidable. The kills usually not on unhooked. So as I said, okay, so moving forward, Decisive Strike will now deactivate once the exit gates are powered when you enter a locker or grab from a vault. In addition, the stun duration has been reduced from 5 seconds to 3 seconds. We'll also be simplifying the description of the perk. Decisive Strike will now be cancelled by conspicuous actions. In order to offset these changes, however, the timer for Decisive Strike will now slow down by 100% while in a dying state. Decisive Strike will be able to be used after each unhook, and the timer will continue after freeing yourself from the killer's grasp. So, a bunch of nerfs entirely, but also allows it to be activated all at once, making it a weaker perk, but more consistent, more continuous throughout the game, under the assumption that you're not at the end game. Borrow Time. Borrow Time will now extend the duration of the Endurance Stats effect by 10 seconds and increase the Speed Boost duration by 10 seconds for any survivor unhook. In addition, addition to the Endurance and Movement Speed bonus, the unhooked survivor will also lose all collision during this time. The effects will be cancelled if the unhooked survivor pulls a conspicuous action. It's just so that you can't abuse it to body block the unhooker. Like, you could walk straight through them, and at the same time the killer also can't just stand at the top of a stairway or an exit for 5 seconds and then just down you and tunnel you. You know, you have plenty of. This is basically the ultimate escape tool. So keeping what it currently does, because I think Borrow Time is generally healthy, other than the fact that it could be used to abuse the body block. Iron Will, I believe. Okay, yeah, so this perk allows skill players to mind game more effectively in many areas by silencing grunts of pain. To address this, I use very well alerting the grunts of pain, the reduction to 75%, but only while sprinting and for 10 seconds after sprinting. Additionally, Iron Will is no longer active while exhausted, but it will not cause the exhaustion itself. So if you're walking, crouching, or doing a gen, you'll still be silent, but when you're like sprinting in a chase, and for 10 seconds after you finish sprinting, you basically still produce grunts of pain at just a reduced volume. Self-care. Though self-care is a divisive reputation among the community, we're surprised to find its high usage peaks in higher skill matches. Having a consistent, reliable way to heal oneself is a powerful tool in the right hands. On top of that, self-care increases the efficiency of medkits, allowing survivors to squeeze additional heals out of them. To reduce its strength, item efficiency bonus has been removed entirely, and self-care will be reworked to ensure that you have to earn the ability to self-heal first. After healing other survivors for a total of 1 health state, allows you to heal yourself without the use of a medkit at reduced speed of 25% for a total of 20 seconds. So you can heal yourself 1 health state faster than current self-care, but you have to earn it first. Spine Chill. Spine Chill will only activate if the killer has a clear line of sight to the survivor. This will remove the awkward calculator where killers look away to stealthy approach. However, in order to offset this sizable nerf, the range limit has been removed. And that's really about it for Spine Chill. Okay, so the non-meta changes. Eruption. Well, Eruption released with fairly safe numbers, but upon reflection, we're comfortable with increasing them. We have up the generate regression penalty to 10%, and the duration of the incapacity is to 25 seconds. In addition, the cooldown has been removed. It's very simple. To make healing in the killer's terror radius even more unappealing, Colorophobia now increase the speed of skill checks by 50% on top of its current effect. I entirely forgot to adjust this, so you know what? Give me 1 second. There we go. So Colorophobia will now increase the speed of skill checks by 50% on top of its current effect, and the effects for Colorophobia now persist for 15 seconds after leaving the killer's terror radius. Very simple, it just kind of makes it a bit more of a present threat. Thanatophobia, another quick one. We're changing Thanatophobia to work on the survivor personally instead of as a collective. Injured survivors suffer from 20% action speed penalty, while the numbers remain the same. Keep in mind that with 90 charges on generators, I'd assume, the effectiveness of Thanatophobia will be more potent. So it basically means that your teammate can't be a Papega and you get punished for it. Scourgehook Monstrous Shrine. Long awaited Monstrous Shrine has received a rework. The Pokemon can build all basement hooks of Scourgehooks. Additionally, Scourgehooks will now grant 20% faster entity progression and prevent survivors from attempting a self-unhook, but only if the killer is not within 24 meters. So on to Calm Spirit. In addition to Calm Spirit's current effects, you can now open chests and cleanse totems and bless totems silently. Saboteur. Saboteur Tails can now identify Scourge hooks that are shown in yellow when a side is being carried, uses information to advantage to prevent Scourge hooks from being activated. Additionally, the cooldown is applied upon a successful sabotage. Botany knowledge. Botany knowledge, given a flat number increase to healing speeds, makes it hard to balance correctly. So we've revoked it to be an interactive perk that provides a survivor a rewarding additional side objective. Really weird way of saying it. So we revoked it to be providing additional side objective to the survivor. 5 fog plants are spawned at the trial after harvesting 3 fog plants. Crouch press the active ability button while empty-handed to create a healing salve. Using the healing salve, you or your teammate will passively gain 1 health state over the course of 16 seconds. The time which can be affected by healing speed modifiers. Fog plants regrow after 120 seconds. So it's basically a perk that now adds a new side objective to the game, which I think would be really interesting and really interesting perk design going forward. Like, with additional perk reworks and additional perks from survivors. Off the record, upon being unhooked, it should say for 80 seconds, but typing is hard. Your scratch marks, pools of blood, grunts of pain, and screams are suppressed. In addition, your aura cannot be read, you produce no noise notifications, you no longer disturb crows, and move 5% faster. This effect is lost upon performing a conspicuous action. So what they've done is basically given you temporary metal man after being unhooked with this. It makes you like a complete stealth unit, you know. You are very stealthy, you can evade, you can get off the record, and then find help whilst off the record. I think would be a much more, I'd say it'd be a much more fun perk to run rather than just like having, you know, an additional health state for 80 seconds, and also being able to force a body block. Lucky Brain Pharmacy, Soul Survivor, Distortion, Lightning, Deja Vu, Behind Actions. I don't think I have. Oh yeah, Overzealous. Overzealous released as an underwhelming perk that doesn't really live up to its name. So instead, after cleansing a Dull Totem while injured, gain the Endurance stats effect for 30 seconds. While cleansing a Hex Totem, you gain the Endurance stats effect until healed. The effect is lost upon performing a conspicuous action. It's kind of a similar idea to Off the Record, where you could activate it, and then when activated, you could use that time to find help, or in this case, you could just straight up tank another hit. Like it kind of does what the new Off the Record does, but you know, cooler. And also lasts until healed. Off the Record currently doesn't say that. And I think, yeah, that's absolutely everything I have changed about with this new update. Apart from that, everything else is like super fucking based, in my opinion. Obviously, there's some things that I'm kind of worried about, like Overcharge, for example, being able to pair it with Cooler Brine for like 600%. But apart from that, I honestly think like most of these changes are either kind of based or like kind of underwhelming. Like Knockout, I didn't really know what to do for it. Having slow recovery speed is kind of cool, I guess. Like it still serves its purpose for slug building. For slug builds. But yeah, let me know what you think about all these in the comments, and I hope to see you soon. But apart from that, have a wonderful day. Bye bye.